SMT5 is coming in a few months, and I want to get this off my chest so that it hopefully gets seen by those who need to see it before release. The mainline SMT games are generally pretty hard games. Along with that comes a certain level of skill and strategy required to complete them. I understand that being able to work hard to overcome these challenges makes a person feel good. It makes someone feel accomplished. The problem is that the most vocal of SMT players, after feeling so accomplished, seem to think that they can dictate how other people play video games. They seem to think they are superior to those who struggle and often like to exert that on others online. In short, the gatekeeping is out of hand. I've played video games long enough to see some series that meant a lot to me for specific reasons collapse into oblivion. Some of them are series that still exist but are, in my opinion, dumpster fires now, and some just outright don't get made anymore. Believe me when I say I understand the concern about allowing a wider audience into a series that you care deeply about for specific reasons. For example, Assassin's Creed. When Assassin's Creed 1 was released, I found myself immersed in a new series that focused so heavily on deeper aspects such as powerful underground organizations fighting against each other in secret, and the dangers of new technology, which were blended together by including modern-day conspiracy theories around well-known historical figures. It wasn't the best game, but it offered something really fresh and unique, and I enjoyed the game on a deeper level than most games. Later, Assassin's Creed 2 was released, and I saw a more mechanically improved game, but with a lot less of the elements that attracted me so deeply. A thought occurred to me. Is this series moving away from the core elements that attracted me to it so much? I talked to my friends about it and was just told, no, the game is even better now, you're just being silly. And besides, there's still some conspiracy stuff in the game still. It's not gone, they just toned it down. To me, it felt like an ill omen though. In my head, I could picture the series that attracted me so much losing its luster and moving into more generic mechanics and stories, much more digestible by a modern, generalized audience. Going forward, it turned out I was right. Assassin's Creed changed its direction, and today the series is just another open world, too many things to do that don't matter style of adventure game. I'm no longer excited about the releases, and only play them when I find deep discounts and feel like I have absolutely nothing else to play. That's Assassin's Creed, and we're talking about SMT. Right. The point of the anecdote is that based on a company's decision, games change. Game series can easily lose the core qualities that make their games appeal to certain crowds. SMT at its core is more beloved for its Japanese-based, post-apocalyptic, dangerous worlds. It's known for its base fighting mechanics, and to a vast majority of its hardcore audience, the game is known for its difficulty. In the mainline series, we have seen quite a few titles released dating back to 1987, and up until SMT4, the series has seen very little deviance in their core mechanics or difficulties. That's almost 35 years of games released in the series that have not deviated wildly from what made them so great. But now here we are, 2021, and one of the all-time loudest groups in the community tells newcomers or Persona fan crossovers to go screw off. People taking interest in the series often look for the community to engage, learn, and grow with, and what do they get? Yelled at, made fun of, chastised, and berated. How many people do you think enjoy being treated like that? Not many. A lot leave, and there's a lot of people out there now that won't play SMT because they don't want to be part of such a toxic community. They don't want to be affiliated with people who act like that over a video game or to other people. Consider this. If they don't play the games, then they don't buy the games. If less copies are being sold, then the companies making the games are less likely to keep making them. Why would you try to put effort and resources into a product only a tiny little fraction of people even play? Whether we like it or not, companies exist to make profit, and that includes video game companies. While you think you're so important for being able to crush that tough boss with your underleveled characters, you don't seem to realize that you actually mean very little to the company. You enjoy their games, but they aren't made for just you and your 12 buddies that think you're oh so great. The little edgelord daycare isn't keeping the game series in business by even the slightest of fractions. So here's an idea. The release of SMT5 in November is set to usher in a very new, wide audience of players from all over the RPG and Nintendo spectrum. I project that this could be a very crucial moment for the series' growth. With all the new people pouring online to dive into and talk about the content, let's start considering treating others with a little respect. If you don't think that you can keep your mouth shut on the posts you see online, consider just scrolling by. Remember that just because you have something to say doesn't mean it's worth saying. Even better yet, welcome these new players into the genre. Be excited that you can teach them what you know and consider helping the growth of the online communities. We have an opportunity that I haven't seen since I started playing these games roughly 12 years ago. If you're familiar with the community, you know that one of the biggest complaints with mainliners is that they believe Atlas doesn't care about the mainline series and they only care about Persona. We continually see this through re-releases and ports of Persona games that have been announced more and more over the last few years. Along with a growing catalog of Persona titles, we've seen a community of Persona players grow rapidly in numbers, who are building and fostering communities which are more often than not welcoming new players into the series. It's no wonder that the Persona games are given such a priority by the company when they see such response and sales numbers. If mainline SMT players really want to see SMT become successful in the West, then people need to start focusing more on community building and not fostering communities that encourage or even allow gatekeeping behaviors. If you're worried about SMT becoming too mainline, then stop. Regardless of your support or lack of support in that happening, changes are nearly inevitable. We are going to see updates to systems. We are going to see more refinements that allow easier and more access for more people than ever to play these games as they continue. And we are going to see easier difficulty options and stat boosting DLCs. You need to understand that this isn't a threat to your game series. This is opening more doors for a wider variety of players to enjoy the game alongside you. As far as anything I've ever seen with improvements in the series, most notable is the Nocturne remaster and the 2 SMT4 games. These features are only adding to the options of the games. The features you love are still in existence. There will be nothing stopping you from getting wiped every 2 battles or meeting bosses that destroy every fiber of your being. All it means is that there are more options for playstyles, which holds very little relevance to your desired experience and is of no threat to you. We're headed towards greatness. Shin Megami Tensei V is releasing on November 11th of this year. This is a great opportunity for the fan base to gather a larger rank and to carry a louder, more positive voice to the developers. If we foster more positivity and combat gatekeeping, we have a better chance than ever to lift this series up farther and to see more releases in the future. Let's do it!